Good afternoon, and I hope you're well. And today is an exciting day because the postman's been and he dropped off some of these. Now these are Sonoff SVs, so safe voltage. So these are little Sonoff switches, a bit like these mains voltage switches, but instead of running on mains, they run on 5 to, I think it's 12 volts. No, 5 to 24 volts. And we can modify these to run on our batteries. And the plan is to have more on the shed wall. So I've got one here, and this one does the 5-volt supply around the shed. And I'm going to have two more, one there and one there. One to control the lights and one to control the inverter. So I can turn the lights and the inverter on remotely, or set timers, or use IFTTT to run whatever commands I want. So if I wanted to, I could have like an email and turn the lights on. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. So let's wire them up. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make some more cables like this to power them. Tell you what mods to put on these boards so that they work for whatever application you want, and let's get going. So if you take a closer look at this board, you've got two in terminals here. The idea from the factory is that you put power across these lines. This goes to the voltage regulator to power the board, and then power comes out of this line. Now we want to use this just as a switch, so we don't want to apply power, we just want to turn something on or off using the relay. So what we can do is remove these two resistors here and here, give it external power through this connector, and that means that this power for the actual logic side is completely separate to the switching side. And then if you want to, we can take the in positive and the out positive and just use that as a switch, as that's the line going through the actual coil, the actual relay, sorry. So by doing that, we can either have it as a simple switch, or leaving them resistors in, we can have it applying power. So whatever application you want, you can modify this. I want it as a switch for the lights, so I just take them two resistors off, apply power externally, use a plus line there and there as a simple relay control switch. And I'll show you how I'll wire that up now. So to have a separate power source and use the switching circuitry in this completely separate from the power, you need to remove that resistor there and that resistor behind this connector there. So it's them two zero ohm link resistors you have to remove. You can either solder them off, or you can just cut them. I'll attempt solder first, and if I get frustrated, I'll just cut them. So that resistor has been removed, and that resistor has been removed. So it's that one and that one. And with them two removed, this isolates the input supply for the logic and the input for the relay contacts. So we can run the relay contacts separately to the supply for the logic. And for the supply, I've got these connectors here, and these pins in the connectors that I'll make up a cable form to plug into that header. So let's do that now. So for these, we just get a wire, put them in there, crimp the terminals down. I'll put a little bit of solder in there to make it a stronger joint, and then this whole thing clips into the hole in the back of this connector and is retained by a barb that pokes out this hole. So first of all, we've got to break that off the strip these will come on. So these come on a long strip from the factory, and then put some wiring. So that's the wire stripped and tinned. Then all you got to do is place it in there, fold down these little wings to retain the wire, and then we solder it. So I put it in, fold down the wings with a pair of pliers. So that's the little ears folded down with a pair of pliers. So the wire is actually crimped in there now. And then to make it stronger, I'll just tack a little bit of solder where the wires are crimped so it can't come out. So I'll just put a little bit of solder in that crimp part, and then this. So if you look, there's a little barb. It's hard to focus. There's a little barb on top. It goes that side up where the holes are. Goes in there, and it will push in with a click. And now that's pushed in, you can see the little barb poking out of the hole in the plastic. So I'll repeat this 4 times. I won't show you because that'd be pretty boring, and then we'll wire it all together. So I finished making the cable, so I've got a JST connector there, JSC connector there, and I'll put my power on here, and then that's how I'm going to power these two switches. So I'll add them onto the wall, and I'll show you how I wire them in. I'm going to be using both of these as switches, and if we look on the back, it'll make it a bit clearer. So you can see the relay contacts are the shiny tracks, and the relay is sitting here. So if we want to just make it a switch, we have to use this contact here and this contact over here, because of course that goes through the relay contact. So that's where I'm going to be putting my wires. So that's the two wires attached that I'm going to use for the to control the light. You can see they're connected to the relay contact, and that's completely isolated from the logic side. So we'll stick that on the wall, add some power, stick the other one on the wall, and show it all done. So there it is on the wall. Something that threw me for a few minutes is, you see this one I've just plugged in, and you get this flashing light. That's not in pairing mode. What you have to do is hold down this button and wait for you to get a different flash. So hold it down, and there you go, you get a different flashing pattern. That's now in pairing mode, and you can pair it with the Smart WeLink app. So they're connected now. So this one on the right is connected through here to the light switch on the wall, and the one on the left is connected to the inverter. So to prove it, if I push this button, the light should turn out. Yay! Back on. And now, because this is obviously internet connected, I can control my lights in my shed from anywhere in the world, if you're into that sort of thing. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and see you next time.